Good day. Today I'm going to be discussing lesson 12. Basically, this capstone project we did, enhancing the Confetti Cuisine site with Express.js. So we did this Confetti Cuisine application already, but now we're going to enhance it using Express.js. And what we did is basically just added EJS layouts to display the messages in the front end or the pages in the front end, as well as setting routes for our error handling, and also setting functions for our error handling, and to also access the different pages and get responses from the server. So let's jump into the code. So firstly, I'm going to discuss what I have here in my main.js. So I made all these imports. I've imported over here controllers in order to use the function home controller. I've imported controllers here in order to use error controller over here, all the functions within error controller. We've imported express EJS layouts to use the EJS to use all these EJS pages. And yeah, so over here I have all my routes, right? So here, this displays the home page. It's a get route that displays the home page. That index.ejs is passed as a response as soon as a request is made to the server. Then index.ejs is passed as a response, which is this over here. That's what shows is this welcome page, basically. So over here, this welcome page is shown. That's the EJS that's displayed in the front end when I access the home page link in that route, which essentially is here. Then I have these get and post routes over here. This get route is for the causes page, which displays the causes as soon as you access the causes link. When that happens, right, over here you can see from home controller show causes function is accessing its code over here, right? And basically this is where the show causes function is. So basically the show causes function is basically what it essentially is handling the routes in order to show the causes in the front end as a response. So when a request is made to the server and then the response is given back, it will render causes, right? Causes over here is basically the EJS. The EJS is referring to is within views, causes.ejs. So basically what it's gonna render, it's gonna use res.render, which is the response. It's gonna render causes.ejs as a response, which is here. So it will show learn to cook cutting edge food, and it will display all the causes in the front end. As you can see here, it uses this for loop to display all the causes. So the cause title and the cost, and then the cause here with this callback function and stuff. So when you see it here and you click, the request is made to the server and then a response is passed back. It shows that EJS for causes, and it shows a list of the causes over here. That's how that routing works, and essentially it works the same for the others. So for the contact, you can see the route is set here, and you have this URL contact over here. When that's clicked and that request is made, and all of that. And show sign up is the function, right, that is used to handle this route, as you can see here. And show sign up is basically said here, and we know that as a response it will render the contact page. The contact page is basically this EJS over here, essentially, which is asking the user to enter specific details for the to enter the contact details. So when I click contact, this is given as a response, which is that contact.ejs over here. But after that, we need to fill that form in, of course. So over here, a post route is made for that contact page in order to fill in the form in that contact page and make a post request to making that post request to the server. What happens here is you have the link here, and then it's using post sign up form, which is the function that handles the post request route. So here's post sign up form. As a response, in this callback function, as a response, it will be passing or rendering the thank you message. The thank you message is in the thanks.ejs, which is set here, and you can see the thank you message over there. So as soon as I fill in my details and submit, I'm making a post request to the server, and then it displays the thank you message, which is the thanks.ejs passed to the front end as a response, basically. So here it is. That's how these get and post routes work. Now, specifically for the error handling and the error messages being passed to the front end as a response, we have this use function which accesses error controller. Error controller is this module here, and it accesses this function, page not found error. So it's going to use page not found error. Page not found error is a function that handles this specific route. So when I access error controller.js, I have page not found function over here. This is basically to display the error message when you access the wrong link. So it can show that you haven't accessed the correct link, and it shows that specific error message in the front end. How it does that is when that request is made to access the link, a response is sent back, which is that error message. So here we have this variable error code, and it has the status. It basically has the status for that error, which is not found, right? And it sets the status to error code. Error code is the variable which has that status code not found. Then it renders error. Error is basically representing error.ejs, which is here. And what will happen is we will display this error message specifically in error.ejs. The other error routes work the same, or the other one specifically. Internal server error function handles it, which is here. This basically essentially is the same thing, but it has this parameter error and this parameter response for this callback function. In error code variable, we have this status, this error status, which is internal server error. This is specifically for errors where the server crashes instead. So remember, the first one is basically for when you can't find a specific page, which is the 404 message. This one here is basically for specifically for when the server crashes and stuff like that. So as soon as that is done, it basically logs this message, error occurred, and then whatever's passed within this variable error stack, and sets the status to error code. And error code basically has the status internal server error, and then it sends this message to the front end. Yeah, so that is essentially how the Cuisine application was enhanced. So basically just adding the error handling in the error controller.js, adding these functions as well for the different pages, as well as the EJS layout over here. So yeah, that's basically chapter 12, enhancing the Confetti Cuisine site with Express.js. Cool.